Hey everyone, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. We're going to check out The Poor by Jesse Wells. First time I'm going to be reacting to his music. Some people have mentioned him when I was asking a question in certain reactions, sometimes like Dylan reaction, like where are the people nowadays who are like speaking up or against certain systems or flaws or government or power? And some people mentioned Jesse Wells' name. So I was very intrigued by that. And a patron of mine, Jerry, suggested this song. And I said, let me check it out. Thank you so much for that suggestion and the support. Let's check it out.
If you worked a little harder, then you'd have a lot more. So the blame and the shame's on you for being so damn poor. It ain't the price gouging, and it ain't the inflation. It ain't everyone above you trying to make a buck from you in school and the whole congregation. I had that reduced lunch, I had the benefit cards. Never occurred to me to blame my family for life being so damn hard. I should have paid attention back when I was in school. Then I could figure up the tax. I would know a lot of facts. I missed the class where they taught the rules. I was memorizing capitals, I was in the spelling bee. I must have skipped the part where they taught the art of private equity. I was selling chocolate bars, I had a disorder. I was cutting up a frog, got lost in the fog, learning how to play recorder. If you only worked a little harder. If you worked a little harder. If you worked a little harder. If you worked a little harder, then you'd have a lot more. Shame and the blame's on you for being so damn poor. It ain't the banks, and it ain't the taxes. It ain't the payday loans and high rent homes and predatory fees and practices. Wave your dumb flag, whatever it means. But you should ask yourself, when it comes to health, are the poor really all that free? If you worked a little harder, if you worked a little harder, if you worked a little harder, you'd have a lot more. So the blame and the shame's on you for being so damn poor, yeah.
Wow. I love this. Just in nature, one guitar, one man, one harmonica, these, some scathing lyrics sometimes, some, sarcastic lyrics. Also, the tone in his voice, you can pick up on it. I like his voice, a little bit of that rasp. It feels authentic. It screams like, real and raw. And that chorus, man, if you just work a little harder, it's your fault that you're poor. That's some of that blame game that goes around in the world, even though some of the systems we have in society are broken, and it's not always, some it's just based on geography. Even you're screwed sometimes. Just the place where you're born. It's wild, It's yeah, and people would still point the fingers. You just work a little harder, and that usually comes from a privileged position. Like, look, for example, I don't, I was born in Belgium. I live in Belgium. My family, half of my family lives in Pakistan, right? And now it's a little better. But when I was a kid, the village where my family lived, when I went to visit, there was no running water. There's no electricity, you know. And I'm born in Belgium, so I'm already an outsider here, but I'm an outsider there too, right? But we didn't have much here in Belgium when I was growing up, but I already had a leg up because I was born in Belgium, right? And maybe I could use the argument, yeah, work a little harder, I can make it, because compared to my family, they already are a little bit more screwed than me. So yeah, fuck, man. That's sorry for the French there. I usually don't swear, but man, it's yeah, it's frustrating sometimes when you hear people, coming from privileged positions, pointing fingers. And he says it ain't the price gouging. It's not the inflation. It's not about that. It's just about the individual. It's not about everybody trying to make a buck from you. And I like the line about I must have missed that class, about how to figure out tax and private equity and stuff. Well, of course you missed it. It's not taught. That's similar in Belgium. So there's all these memorizations. He says I'm memorizing capitals and stuff, which is basically pointless. Maybe before internet and before all these tools we have now to instantly look things up. But we can't even pay a bill when we come out. So how do you pay the bills? How do you manage life? Not being taught in schools here in Europe either. So we're not part of that club where private equity and stuff. What is that even? If most people are, just no financial literacy whatsoever. We're just not. Don't teach them that. Don't teach them the tricks of the game. We don't want them in our club, like George Carlin said, right? We're not part of it. He's talking about mental disorders, maybe cutting up a frog, which sometimes they do in class, right? But how do we deal? What is, sometimes the point of all this stuff? And then we go into the so-called real world and we have no skills to navigate it. We already are starting with a disadvantage. So your work harder arguments. Ugh, I love this type of stuff, man. Dang. Yes, this is it. It's not the banks that screw you. It's not the taxes that screw you. It's not the payday loans, the high rent homes. This is, again, maybe a little bit different in America, but in Belgium, the same thing. What we could afford maybe a generation ago, 2 generations ago, with one job, can't be afforded right now with 2 or 3 jobs, which is crazy. Usually we work on the assumption that things will be better for the next generation, and it's just we're regressing as a society, as a civilization. The homes, young people can't afford any homes anymore unless they got a little care package from their parents. Without help, it's just not happening. It's crazy. Damn, the divide is becoming bigger and bigger, even in Western world. It's heartbreaking. And then he was talking about wave your dumb flag, whatever it means, but you should ask yourself, when it comes to hell, are the poor really all that free? So blind patriotism and all of that, while healthcare is not provided for everybody, it's tough, and it's again very different in the USA than in Europe or Belgium. We have other types of healthcare. We kind of chip in. What some Americans might see as, oh, that's too socialist for us. But don't people in America also pay for the roads and and the fire departments and school? Is that include? I don't know. So why is health excluded from that? I don't know. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Uh, but yeah, isn't it a healthy society? Is more productive and it benefits everybody. Rising tide lifts all boats. I don't know. I love this. Speaking his mind, speaking truth, speaking up against broken systems and all of that. I love that. Respect. Great voice, great guitar playing, standing there in nature. That's music. The poor. Yeah. Awesome. Please leave some more recommendations for Jesse Wells. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. Goodbye.